Hey, welcome back to the secret underground lair. So we got our two tables now assembled. I got finished with the drawers, so all the drawers are now in and operational. I've adjusted them a little bit. They'll probably need a little bit more fine tuning as we go, but for now I'm pleased with those results. So our next step, I'm going to be going over everything with 220 grit just to remove some leftover glue marks that may be around. And then we're going to apply the Simply White stain. The purpose of that Simply White is just to fill in some of the pores on the wood. It'll mostly show up, I think, in here. Just get a little bit of white in those pores, and then when we put on the top coat, it'll just kind of really pop. Gives it a little bit of a whitewash look to it, but not much. So, in fact, I'm going to do up a sample piece before I apply the final coat on this one, but the Simply White will go on regardless. So, a little more sanding, and then, some Simply White stain. So, one of those days where you put it all together and then you tear it all apart. So, pieces are now broken down into their major components, and I have one of the nightstands up here. And what we're going to be doing at this point is I'm going to wet it down using a paper towel and some water, just kind of wipe it down to get all the dust off it. And the second point of that is it will raise the grain. When the grain has been raised, then I'm going to apply the Simply White stain. And after that has set for about an hour, we're going to sand it off. And what we'll be left with are some white streaks in various parts, which is kind of the pickling effect that we're going for. So I'm going to set up the camera and we'll start wiping this down. You can see the spectacular wood that this will become. Under normal circumstances, of course, at this point I would be giving this a sand, but I do want to get the raised grain effect. So I'm going to put in the stain now and let that soak into some of these raised pores, and when I sand it off, I'm expecting that get a little better marking from the stain. So I'm going to be applying this stain with a foam brush, and I'm not looking for heavy coverage, I'm just looking for total coverage. So, and a shout out to John again, thanks for the gloves. bits to do on this one will be the drawers. Okay, so for the drawer, I'm just going to apply the white stain to the top surface, this edge, the top edge, and this back edge. That's it. All right, that represents all the pieces for one of the cabinets. I've done a whitewash, one of the nightstands rather. So I'm going to go through the same process on the other nightstand, get that all done. And then we should be ready to be sanding this off. So all our pieces are now covered with whitewash in all the spots that I want whitewash on them. And with that, I'm going to call that a video for today. Next up, we'll be sanding that right back and possibly just applying some Varathane, but we're going to do some confirmation of colors with our customer. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video.